everyone, I am here in the kitchen and I am going to make my 5-ingredient version of tiramisu. Jordan and I, we went to, they have farm days here in our town, and we picked up some cool things. I bought some brittle. I've seen peanut brittle before, but I've never really seen it with almonds in it, so I had to try it, and it's actually really, really good, and it's made by someone here locally, Gigi's Candies. And although I'm not using the brittle in my recipe, it gave me an idea for tiramisu. I don't know if you're familiar with it, but it's traditionally an Italian dessert with coffee and mascarpone cheese and eggs and some other great things. But I am making a very American version of it in 5 ingredients. What I'm going to do first is take my mascarpone cheese. You can get this at most grocery stores. You'll just have to look like where they keep specialty cheeses. And I need 16 ounces of it. So I'm going to put it in a bowl over here. Now, any traditional tiramisu you've ever seen, it doesn't have Cool Whip in it. But I'm using it because I was kind of challenged with the 5 ingredients. And the Cool Whip does 2 things for me. It adds body to the cheese, but it also adds some sweetness, because normally you would put vanilla extract in tiramisu and some rum and some things like that. And since I couldn't do that, the Cool Whip will add a lot of that to the recipe. Because mascarpone cheese is not sweet, and so it needs a sweetener for this dessert. So I'm going to take a Cool Whip. I'm just going to stick this in here. This is 1.5 cups. I'm probably going to need a little more. I'm going to end up using about 3 cups of Cool Whip. Once it's mixed up, if you feel like it needs a little more, go ahead and add it. Make it to whatever sweetness you would like, but I'm going to use 3 cups. And then I'm just going to take my hand mixer and mix this up really well. Oh gosh. Okay. I have this mixed. I'm going to give it a quick taste to see if it's kind of flavor I'm looking for. Those 3 cups should work very well. It's got a nice light flavor. That's something about tiramisu a lot of people like, is it's not really overwhelming. So the next thing I'm going to do is I have brewed some coffee there. I actually have 2 cups. I brewed 2 cups of the instant coffee, and I've just let it sit in a bowl because you want it to be cold for this recipe. You don't want it to be hot. It would not be good for the lady fingers or any of the other ingredients. But what I'm going to do is I have my dish that I'm going to make the tiramisu in. I'm just going to pour some of the coffee in the bottom. Just a little bit, and I'm going to spill it everywhere else in the process because it wouldn't be me if I didn't make a mess. Then I'm going to take lady fingers. I've cheated and I bought them. And so I found this in the bakery section at the grocery store. Most grocery stores will have them too. So I'm going to take them and just lay them on the bottom in the coffee, and then take another and just fit them along the bottom. You want the bottom completely covered, and it's already soaking up the coffee. Okay. And you can kind of see where the coffee has soaked up really in the ones I put in first. I'm going to put a little more coffee because you kind of want it to soak through the ladyfingers. You want to taste a lot of that coffee. So I'm just going to pour it on the edge. I don't want to drown them in it. So just a little over the sides. And that one needs a little more. Then I'm going to take my Cool Whip and the mascarpone cheese, and I am just going to spread it on top. We're going to make 2 layers. So we're just going to put some of that in there. This is a really easy Italian dessert. I know true Italians and people who make real tiramisu would probably not even call this tiramisu, but this is my version. It's easy to make. There's no baking involved. Traditional tiramisu has raw eggs in it, and so you kind of get rid of that component. So I've got my first layer done, so I'm going to start on the second layer, and I'm going to put the lady fingers on top. You're just repeating the process. Break these in half. And this time, I'm not going to pour the coffee over it. I'm going to kind of take a spoon and just go over the top with it. Kind of soak the lady fingers. I have plenty of coffee left. I may just drink it straight out of there. And then I'm going to put the cream on top, and this will be the top of the dessert. So I'm going to try to smooth it out and make it all nice and pretty. Now, normally, I see a lot of tiramisus will have powdered cocoa on top of it. But I decided to do something a little different. So I'm adding cocoa dusted almonds. So I'm still getting the cocoa in there, but with almond flavor, which I think goes really nice with this dessert. So I bought some cocoa roasted almonds, and what I've done is I put them in a plastic bag. I took about a cup of these almonds, put them in a plastic bag, and I just beat them with a spoon until they're kind of fine. Now, of course, you could use your food processor. That probably would have been the easier thing to do. So I'm just going to take the almonds and sprinkle them over the top. You've got the bits of cocoa and the bits of almond. And I'm just going to spill them all over the place. Hey, you know, I've got coffee everywhere, so. At Clayton Family Kitchen, we say messy kitchen, you know. Nothing better than a messy kitchen, and that's the truth. Alright. And that is a 5-ingredient tiramisu. Thank you for watching.